Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Education. I'm Dr. Jon Kopko, Superintendent of the East Brunswick Public Schools and your host for the program. Today I'm in the studio with Mr. Frank Noppenberger, who is our District Supervisor of Athletics and Physical Education. Frank, I'd like to welcome you to the show today. And as you know, our focus will be physical education, and I'm wondering if you could share with our audience the overall goals of our program.
Well, before we start with the goals, I'd just like to mention that our phys ed program is, just like our other areas, is probably the best in the state. That's what I feel. I visited many schools and I see that we're going in the right direction and we're right where we want to be. Our ultimate goal is to promote the value of physical education and the benefit of fitness. In other words, some people say it's the education of the physical through the physical. And by doing this, we will develop the self-esteem of the students and some of their social skills, such as teamwork, sportsmanship, and fair play.
When do we actually begin formal physical education classes?
As you know, New Jersey is one of the few states in the United States that have required physical education in the elementary and the high school. We start in the first grade, and that goes for 2 days a week. It may be 2 consecutive days, but most of the time there's a day in between. Our emphasis is upon the motor skills, eye-hand coordination, ball skills, and basically an introduction of the team sports and individual sports.
And what happens in 6th and 7th grade at Hammersholt Middle School?
At the middle school, we continue to develop a positive approach to physical education and sports. Now we've moved our emphasis a little bit to the team and individual sports and the rules of the game, and hopefully that they'll get more team-orientated. We also want to emphasize at that level the total fitness, which includes good nutrition and an individual exercise program.
And finally, what programs do we have at both Churchill Junior High School and East Brunswick High School?
Well, first let me just tell you, at Churchill, the 8th graders have physical education every other day for the entire year. The 9th graders will have it 3 days a week for the entire year. And at the high school, it's either 4 days a week or 5 days a week, depending on their schedule and labs. What we offer, or our emphasis on those levels, is lifetime sports being our dance program, which we have ballet, jazz. We offer aerobics, physical fitness training or weight training, tennis, ping pong, volleyball, and we also have the team sports such as the softball, volleyball. These are activities that they can use beyond high school, and hopefully we'll teach them the rules and the proper skills that they can use them later on.
Now, we've also been doing physical fitness testing in all of our schools. Could you explain the testing procedure itself?
Well, what we've developed is our own fitness test, an East Brunswick fitness test. Over the years, we've used the President's Test, the AHPER, and the Marine Corps fitness test. This past year, we developed our own test with our own standards. And what we do in the fall is we pre-test the students in various areas and then find out where the weakness is, and hopefully the phys ed teacher will improve upon these weaknesses during the year with added strength conditioning exercises or aerobic training. Then in the spring, we post-test. And now that we send both the pre-test home in the fall and the post-test home in the spring to the parents. Now the parent is able to evaluate their student's fitness ability. Now this report, it's not necessarily a grade, it's just a report to let the parent know where their son or daughter belongs or is compared to the other students in East Brunswick. Although all 4 areas, Hammersholt, Churchill, the high school and elementary, although they're all different exercises or different skills, are all basically the same. For instance, cardiovascular, endurance and capacity is measured by either the half-mile run or the mile run. We measure upper body strength by either pull-ups, push-ups, modified pull-ups, or the bench press. And of course, we test the abdominal strength through sit-ups. So although most of the tests are different, they're still basically the same in what we're testing.
And how did you determine the standards to be used?
Last year, last school year, 1991-92, we used the physical best test, which is an excellent test. And after some discussion with the teachers and the students, we decided, you know, we don't want to compare ourselves to people in Michigan or California or Oklahoma. So we had a workshop over the summer. We calculated and collected all the data, and then we developed our own standards and our own tests. Kind of have a little bit of each test in there.
Okay, we actually have some film clips, some tapes of the testing being administered in the schools. Could you tell us whose classes we'll be seeing?
Well, the first class we'll see is Miss Dunn from Memorial School. Then we'll jump to Judy Zanetti at Hammersholt. And then there's Dee Watkins at Churchill, Bill McDougall at Churchill, and finally, last but certainly not least, Don Weider at the high school.
Okay, let's take a look at those tapes now.
Back to the first side, all the way down to your foot, lunging. Great, up and over the other side, lunging. Super, let's stand up, let's turn our feet towards the table, just lunge over that knee that's forward. Great, up and over to the other side, lunging over that knee. And back and rest. Move that ankle muscle around, go the other way. Great, let's put our arms up, press forward, pressing backwards, pressing up, pressing down. Let's see some strong muscles in. And relax those arms out. Strong muscles in again. Who could tell me why we're testing for sit-ups? What are we testing? Dave.
Heart muscle.
What kind of muscles?
Our chest muscle.
Stomach muscles on the sit-ups. We're testing how strong our stomach muscles are, okay? I'd like you to do 50 sit-ups today on your own. During the test, somebody's going to hold your feet. Today, I want you to lay on that green mat that's outside, put your feet on the ground, bend your knees, put your arms across your chest. You're going to come up and down 50 times. You don't have to do 50 in a row. You can do 20, and then rest and do another 20. Okay, from the sit-up station, when we rotate stations, you're going to go to the long...
Here what you have is students outside practicing the pre-test. This is the sit-up portion. Notice the arms are folded across their chest, and they're doing as many as they can as instructed by Ms. Dunn. This is the shuttle race, or the shuttle run. It tests agility and quickness.
What are these arms doing?
Here Mrs. Dunn is testing a young man on the arm strength, or the flexed arm hang. The chin must remain above the bar, and the teacher will count or time the number of seconds it remains above the bar. This is the 50-yard dash that tests agility. It also tests speed and a little bit of endurance. This is Hammersholt Middle School with Mrs. Zanetti, and they're doing a warm-up routine, and it's done all to music. There's no instruction. They've been taught and instructed on each change of music that they do a different exercise. They just went from sit-ups. Now you'll be seeing them doing push-ups. And if you look closely, you'll see different types of push-ups. Modified push-ups, some people are on their knees, some are on their toes. They're working at their own rate and doing what they can. Now they go right into squat thrust, which will teach some agility, some leg strength, and some endurance. Now we're outside on the fitness trail at Hammersholt, and what the boys are doing are leg extensions, developing the thigh muscles. Here's three young ladies very happy to be on the fitness trail. The young man is developing his triceps through dips, which is upper body strength. Each station takes about 20 seconds to a minute, and then the instructor will blow a whistle and they jog to the next station. This is a lateral jump station which increases and improves your agility and your ability to move laterally. Now we're at Churchill Junior High School with Dee Watkins, and she's stretching them before an activity. We're stretching leg muscles before we do any type of running or jogging. And notice the clean floor. Mr. Don Ewing did an outstanding job on that floor this year. We're still at Churchill, and in Mr. McDougall's class, what we're doing is jumping rope as a warm-up activity, and as you can see, there's different types of ropes, heavy ropes and the regular rope. The heavy rope will also, the big black ones there, will increase arm strength. Now we're stretching the hamstrings before we get involved in sit-ups and or a running activity. Now, this is a portion of the test that all 4 levels use, and this is called the sit-ups. A partner holds your feet, and you do as many sit-ups as you can in a minute. You may rest at any time, but the elbows must touch the thigh. Now we're at the high school, and this is the fitness trail with Mr. Don Weeder. It's the fitness trail located next to the tennis courts. Mr. Weeder's stretching them here before they go on a jog and perform some of these stations.
Hold it there for about 8 counts. All right, down in the sit-up position with your knees bent. You got 33, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1.
He gives them a good 8-minute vigorous warm-up, get the heart going a little bit, and then you'll see them starting out on the jog. As the boys come running to this station, the pull-up station, you'll see them stop, and then they'll do as many pull-ups as they can. The goal is 8 or 9 pull-ups at this spot. When they finish the pull-ups, then they continue on to the next station. The pull-ups are done with the knuckles facing the individual and palms away. Now the girls are at a different station. These are called modified pull-ups. And laying down, they pull themselves up as many times as they can. When they finish, they'll go in groups of 3 to the next station.
And pull. 1, 2. Bring your arms out. Pull. 3. Come on, pull. 4. Pull. 5. Come on, you owe me 2 more. 6. Come on, pull. 7. All right, you're out of there. Continue on the jog now. Continue the jog. Boy, you should be jogging all the way.
Frank, now that we're back in the studio, I have 2 final questions for you. First of all, how is our physical education program related to our athletic program in the district?
Well, if you look at any strong athletic program at any school in the state, you'll see that it's the phys ed program that feeds into it. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine a pyramid, and on the bottom of that pyramid is the foundation. That's physical education, elementary physical education, specifically middle school. That's where the basics are taught of throwing and catching, the proper fundamentals of all team sports and individual sports. And that's where the student learns, the first time they learn under the direction of a professional, the proper skills. After they learn those skills, they then take them into the backyard or into the street, and they practice them on their own. Now, the second level of that pyramid is the intramural program. East Brunswick got an outstanding intramural program. All of our schools offer intramurals. Some are before school, some are after. The elementaries, Churchill, Hammersfield, and the high school. The high school intramural program of volleyball is outstanding. It's to the point now where we have 3-on-3 tournaments. The elementary people, they have gymnastics in the morning or in the afternoon. But let's get back to the intramurals. What they do, what the student will do now is the skills that he's learned, he will then use to the next step, which is intramurals of that pyramid, and they will apply them in a game-like situation. It's not a teaching situation as much as a learning and a fun situation. From that part of the pyramid, the middle, we go to the upper peak, and that is about 4 parts of that upper peak. And we have 4 levels of interscholastic sports at East Brunswick. We have an 8th grade program, 9th grade, we have junior high, and then the ultimate, the JV, and then the ultimate being the varsity, the peak being the varsity. And if we didn't have a solid elementary and middle school program in phys ed, I don't think the success of our athletic teams would be as great. And it also helps out with involvement. If a student isn't exposed to a particular sport, they may never try it. But our elementary people, were exposing the students to aerobics, to gymnastics, to jogging, and then they get a feel for it, and then eventually, hopefully, they'll go out for that sport. As a matter of fact, last year we had over 1,100 students involved in interscholastic sports, just the sports at the 4 levels, and probably close to 5,000 in the intramural programs.
Okay, Frank, one final question. What can parents do to improve physical fitness in their children?
I think physical fitness and sports and athletics, it all goes together. What I would encourage parents to do is to get involved with your son or daughter. Find out what they do. I want every parent, when their student comes home, or their son or daughter comes home from school, ask them, what did they do in phys ed class today? Usually they tell you what they did in music or maybe math or history. I want them to ask what they did in phys ed and take an interest in that. And then go out in the backyard and play catch with their son and daughter with the frisbee, and take a walk with them, or go to the playground, or do some tennis with them. So encourage them, show them that sports is fun and it's a great learning experience, and to basically to be involved in them.
Well, Frank, I'd like to thank you very much for being here and providing all of us today with outstanding information regarding our physical education and also our athletic program. I'd also like to really congratulate you and commend you and your entire staff for the outstanding job that they do in both physical education and athletics as well, because the reputation of East Brunswick as a district in these areas is certainly known, throughout the state. To the audience, I'd like to thank you for watching today, and hope you'll be back with us again next month when our show will be on integrated language in the school district. We will have Dr. Miriam Hoffman, who is our district supervisor of English and staff development, and also Mr. Phil Cacavalli, who is our district supervisor of reading and testing.